Hey everybody, it's Roy Cruz and Son of Beast here. It's another Clash of the Battle of the Central. This division, as we're going to be doing another one for tonight, after the biggest win for the Devils against the Capitals, it's the Stars and against the St. Louis Blues in Texas and from St. Louis, Missouri. The big matchup as for the Blues, they are just trying to fight it off, and as for Dallas Stars, they clinched their title into the postseason, and their advantage is back into the second seed spot. And behind the Colorado Avalanche and in between the Minnesota Wilds, this could be the only matchup that could get right into work. As the start of goaltenders, right in a range between Joel Hofer and the starting goaltender for the Stars of Jake Ottinger. Here are the X Factor players as we start things off by next commentating partners, Ringo White, along with 5 and 2 and special guest joining us here for tonight. And nothing beats the matter if anything is going to be all for anything that's been better. The personation all goes with Trophy that will be joining us here for the second period as for the special guest. But great things always have to be coming in if they wanted to win the Stanley Cup. And now let's have a look at the starting X Factor players. Starting off with the St. Louis Blues, the first one will start it in for Robert Thomas. He makes the tape-to-tape and the ankle breaker zones with Jordan Kyrou with wheels in the tape-to-tape zones. Colton Parayko with the stick-em-up and the warrior zone. Braden Shen, the born leader and the relentless with Sparkplug and the captain. Cam Fowler, the wheels and the elite edges. Jordan Binnington, which has a recharge ability and plays for the secondary goaltender to have it all in. Then we have across is Pavel Buchnevich with the elite edges and the big tipper. Then it's Dylan Holloway, Sparkplug and quick picks. And last but not least, it's Nathan Walker. Now pressure is a building shots. Now let's go over to the other side of it. As the starting players for the Dallas Stars, Mikko Rantanen is one of a quick release in a one-time zone with the tape-to-tape zones. Mira Heiskanen are the only wheels on the elite edges with the send-it pass. And along with Jason Robertson, he has a quick release, pressure T, and no contest zone. Jake Ottinger, he's one of the best. He makes a sponge that has absorption and limited rebounds. White Johnson with the big tipper and no contest zone. Matt Duchene with the wheels and big tipper. Van across Rupens, elite edges, tape to tape, quick draws, and it's everything possible. Van across is Tommy Charlie, elite edges and the send pass. Then it's Issa Lindell, stick him up and a quick pick. Then it's Tyler Seguin with a quick release of 1T. And finally, it's Jamie Benn, one of the best players of the unstoppable and relentless hit. Now let's send you down to Dallas Stars for at American Airlines Center in Dallas. It's the big matchup where we are taking in for the Stars to be unite and the Blues to have it all fight for the note. Let's see how they prepare for this part of the matchup. Now prepare for the Central Clash Division. Stars, Blues, next on EA Sports. See you later for the intermission and post-game show. It's a great day to be hockey here in Dallas, Texas. Good evening. I am Ringo White, and I am here with 5 and 2. And starting out the special guest is Trophy. Tonight's the big night here in American Airlines Center. The Stars and Blues, Classic Central Division. As we're kicking puck drop and we are ready to go, it is Dallas Hockey Night here in Dallas, Texas, on the game of the night on EA Sports. Starting off the goaltenders is right in range, Joel Hofer the other side of it, and the other wing for the Stars, we have is Jake Ottinger the other way. We get started for St. Louis Blues. This one is tipped it up and knocked out of here, and the rebound is now finding to Mira Heiskanen to find to Lindell. Lindell chance, pass now right finding to Rantanen. Rantanen swinging across now finding to Heiskanen. Lindell gives it back to Kikowan. Chance on the shot. This one is rebounded by Lindell. Smashed from board and it's rebounded by the Blues. Taking care of it is Luke Chen, and he has it to Snugglewell. This one is passed behind the blue line. And now here's Goldberg. The shot. Sacked made by Ottinger. This will be his first save of the night with only 18-14. The big starting of the goaltender as your team has clutched into the postseason. This finish may not always be what Jake Ottinger has, but the big sponge of a save makes it real.
Yeah, he totally makes a lot of it for real, and I mentioned to say about that Jake Ottinger is really like giving all that he can. And, you know, I have a lot of things to mention for the biggest glove match and one of the best players here. He's one of the Americans to play it all for the best. With Jake, Connor Hellebuck, and there's one of the great goaltenders here to start off. And one of the things was Henrik Lundqvist not only makes it for once and change out for twice, it makes it a great way to have it all as pressuring zone. There's no way to be showing in there if they got a great one to have it all. The matchups seem to be okay, but I mentioned to say about the Blues, they really are going to show it off how they can get to it. Jake Ottinger's really kind of a harder pick. A playoff is inboundable? Maybe that might be the questionary. Here's Cork the other way, now flying it off to Harley. Harley the chance in the backhander, saved by Hofer, and given away as now the Blues will have it. The first one is a shot, that one is almost going to be a backhander, but doesn't start off great.
St. Louis look back and find it to Tucker, and the shot blocked off by Cork. And here's Steele the other way for the Stars. Here comes Harley. Harley will swing after it, now behind the net. And then Steele will have his change. Finding to Duchesne with to Petrovic. And Bork. A send-off pass now finding to Petrovic with 15:24 to go in the first period. Petrovic with the swing, now to Bork. Bork swinging the pass to Steele. Steele shot, another save by Hofer. And Sundess the other way for St. Louis. We passed 15 minutes, 5 minutes to spare on the opening period. And Petrovic should give it after the Steele. Now trying to look over to Duchesne. Duchesne went off with the hit. And here's another change out for Sundess. And he gives it over the other way. Swing and misses. Out here is now Tucker. Here's the front Wilshevich. And a shot. Shane's off. Saved by Ottinger. Looks off to Heiskanen.
That really has a lot of huge saves. I have that in for it, but there won't be anybody to change it off.
Fire shot saved by Hofer. Now again to Lindell. Looks over to Buck. How nice that find to Lindell. Heiskanen block saved by Hofer. 13:44 remaining to have left in the first opening period as another two-step saves in for Hofer. And like I said before, without Jordan Bennington, that is the only one thing that we really have to challenge for is recharge. But now the only one that takes is Hofer.
He makes a great stop afterward. I mean, I don't have anything else to say about this, but only one time will tell. If Hofer can definitely have it replaced up by Jordan Bennington, that's the only thing he can definitely do. And not the rest for Joel Hofer. That might be under risk taking. So if he needs some help here, then looks like the Jordan Bennington will be a helping hero in need.
Oscar Buck. Johnson, another save by Hofer. And here's Buck. Full pressures on the Stars. Give to Buck. Now here's Caprianco trying to Johnston. Johnson to get to back Blackwell. And here's a chance for the Cardinal goes shot. This one is blocked up and goes right into center ice for the Stars. Rebound back here to Heiskanen. Heiskanen spinning across that lane to Caprianco. On a shot saved by Hofer. Stops in play with 11:13 remaining in the first period. And they'll get ready for the puck drop. All right, let's go over now into the center ice. His two. He'll be joining us here for the starting players. And therefore, Jason Robertson. Thanks, folks. About for Jason Robertson, he was really sure to be glad to be here. But only one thing that he might have to do for is playing some of his confidence and his ultimate speed. Agility is giving some of his stripe on his effort to have it playing on action. Without no takes in there, there's one thing that makes a great and huge impact, and only one thing that opens to beat Jason Robertson. He has one of his hugest efforts to have that goal range. His racing as a mountain is a perfect way to have that one settled in, but when he starts getting it optimally, he has communication to have it spilled from the head coach. I'll be finding out here for Jason Robertson for the great ones to take. This will be his night to have his own first opportunity racing for a chance with the goal. Back to you, Ringo. Thanks, Stu. And now finding to Franco. Rantanen shots blocked and rebound by Kubiko. Back to Rantanen. Stalling the rebound, and the puck sends out of here to pass the midway mark. Now he's a change-off, and the St. Louis Blues will start. Here's now the goal! It's Dvorsky, and the Blues strike first.
Well, that broke into play, and afterward, Dvorsky had that one attacking. He goes all the way down there. Watch when you see what Dvorsky makes. That one doesn't start off when you get a good look at it, but when the first goal happens, that really changes it off. You have a hard time seeing for yourself. And this doesn't really think that this would be the first goal to start off with Dvorsky. That's the first goal that you really are going to have a lot of patience, and you have no credits if you're able to try to block it or you're going to get tripped over. That's why you don't want to get any penalty counts with that.
So the leadoff is starting cut short as Dvorsky has his first goal in the game by firing over to Mullix. 9:12 to go in the first period. This will dump the zone and rebound by Neighbors. Neighbors the changeover right outside Mullix, and a shot saved by Ottinger. And Shen battle along the boards. Lundqvist trying to keep that line cleared out, and it's back over to Lundqvist. He's now finding Bork. Jason Robertson back on ice. No offside for the Stars. Robertson, the pass over right around the net. And here's Skinks the other way, now firing to Lundqvist. Harley shoots one, big save by Beaufort.
That is one of the hugest hard settles. There's no way that you can definitely try to feel it, but the rack of it is really hard to improve.
Lundqvist the outside of it, and a huge tip out, and it goes right to the goaltender. Robertson with the rebound.
I wasn't pretty sure if Buck is like racing after it. This one's a little magical though. I'm not even sure where it's going.
Here's Drew Pence. Find out the Bork now finding to Harley. Harley, the pass is broken by Schnabel, and here's Shen the other way to find it. Neighbors. Neighbors the pass over, now it's Skinks. He gets it out of the way, and he will clear it out. This will be an icing on the call for the Stars. 6:47 to remain in the first period. They'll be ready for the puck drop in Dallas territory. All right, let's go back down over to 2. And to start off with the setup will be Pavel Buchnevich. Thanks, folks. Pavel Buchnevich really has some courtesy to give it all. The strength of it is to really start out to make the key. One thing is a good thing to have it all is a huge authority on his own effort. It doesn't play off that way, but when you're playing this for Pavel Buchnevich, he has a great way to have his own really sharp edges to have it cleared out. This is great takes for Pavel Buchnevich to have a clean look, and the better offense really shows to be appealing. This might be his choice. Pavel Buchnevich would really have some hugest rebounds in and clear it off the path. I'll be watching here Pavel Buchnevich to see how he plays back on ice to give range back in. Back to you, Ringo. Here's Steele. Steele shot saved by Hofer. He scores! Dreaming big! And now is the answer of that error. Hofer, dreaming big, delivers the tie.
Well, I got one thing to feel about that. And one thing is Hofer, this one doesn't really get there when he uses offensively. He just misses it, and then this one is the puck in there, and as Jamie Benn scores it, he just had that one to turn it in. Jamie Benn wasn't really sure if it was in there or not, but that really had it back in there with a hard, huge effort. Now this first goal only makes it for Jamie Benn.
Bing bang.
Here's chance to Falk, and he finds it over to Holloway with the error picked up by St. Louis Blues. And here's Kyrou. Dvorsky shoots, he scores! 2 goals in the game, and he's now had 2. We'll start off for his second career.
Oh man, at Dvorsky, he really had it all. Good pass here by Jordan Kyrou. It's a little slick here. He's really like having a hardest effort. And then when this rebound puts up, it just goes back in the net. Check what happened to Kyrou, and then when it goes over to Dvorsky, that's that first goal, and they really are getting away with this. You won't be prepared for this. Whenever you're doing it, you really have to block it. It's never even a choice when you get. Jordan Kyrou, that's only 2 goals. He has to be careful now because he's getting closer to 3. This could be problematic for the Dallas Stars to have it all.
Big knockout here. Jamie Benn will have it slanted around the net. And here's Parayko with 5 minutes remaining in the opening period. Gets stumbled and rebounded by Heiskanen. Heiskanen will have that one right around the net. And Duchesne gives a little swing after it to get a little turnout. And here's a chance now. He's going to have the pass. Dan Holloway gives it up. And Dvorsky has 2 goals in the game. Looking for 3. Boucher. Pass over to Nico Rantanen. On his rush. Chance in to steal. Broken up the play. Rantanen with the rebound. Chance to Lindell. Lindell chance to Heiskanen. Heiskanen pass to Lindell. Finds it off to Johnston. And here's Steele. Pass over back outside is Lindell. Lindell the pass over to Steele. Steele in front. Lewis will take the message with 3:50 to go. Dallas Stars
Jordan Geiger and number 72, Johnny Earl. Tom Mitchell was 7 seconds in the first period.
The send-up back to Heiskanen. And it's back over to Jake Labors.
Justin Falk. 14 minutes
Dumps it
26
in.
seconds.
And Rantanen will have a piece of it with the puck. Off again, good check Koganko. Big cut in motion here for the Stars. Wrister shot save up by Hopeful. Hopeful getting another huge effort on a saving block to stop on the Stars' goal. It's better to have a great credit here. You got a lot of strength, and you just really got to keep making saves again. Outside, Kepenko. Over to Petrovic, and here's Hikawai. Backhander, saved by Hopeful. And rebound by Canfalo. Outside zone, and here's Suter. Sends off to Neighbors. Neighbors shoots. Blocker saved again by Jake Ottinger. Clears the zone. Icing on the Stars. Just staring down to the end of the first period. It's 2-1 as the Blues remain to keep it unsteady to have that lead off. And shot blocked up by Fosca. Swings and misses. Rebound by the Blues. Rebound by Snubberall. Wow, big knockdown here right behind for the net. And another hit goes down for St. Louis Blues to hit the hit.
They're really over it now. I mean, when the Blues are really just trying to get over into it, they really are starting to go bang. That's really where their Stars are going to have to get the payback. Another lesson.
Neighbors stick on the Blues. Races the chain after it. Neighbors shoots. Stopped by Ottinger. And it will end the first period. Blues takes it away. The big advantage for Dvorsky as he has 2 goals. And it remains 2-1 St. Louis. Second period will be rough and ready when we return for Dallas Hockey. Be back after this break. Hey everybody, welcome to the first edition of the NHL on EA Sports. It's going to be a greatest to have it all with the Clash Division. But the start-off makes it for St. Louis a 2-1 lead. As we show the action trackers, there's only 1 change-off, 2 goals to the left, 1 goal on the right for the Stars to the left, and then for the 2 Blues side on the right, that has 2 goals. As the Delabor Dvorsky, he has 2 goals, and the error picks up for the Stars as Jamie Benn has his own goal. And have that one keeping it settled. It wasn't a big match if they did. And here's how they did after the first period. 11/7 total shots on goal for Dallas Stars. Then it's 12/10 hits for St. Louis Blues. 552/105 for Dallas Stars on the time on attack. 97/86 passing effectiveness for St. Louis. And 8/2 face-off wins for the Blues. They weren't sure enough how they were going to keep handling it, but it just took it all. So as you can see here, let's get over with the facts of use centerpiece of the Blues starting off early. They did actually start off early before. When one way to settle this off is just how are they not spending the days of and what the St. Louis Blues made. This pass-off happens to be Jordan Kyrou, Pavel Buchnevich, Jake Neighbors, and there's a lot of great attackers that really is starting off with the Stars in the first period. That doesn't mean that they really are into it at secondary to have it with the special teams. But as you mentioned it before, Roy, that's what happens with the Blues. They really are starting to get it off strong. This is the battle range that they do for. How about you, Roy, for the Dallas Stars? Well, the only error happens to be only with Joel Hofer. As for J.D. Bang, that's a big credit on that. And the head coaches were saying there was no intent on a challenge play. If there was like an interference on the goaltender, or if there was anything that's caught up in the stick and that playable is just under full review. They weren't sure enough. They just didn't really matter with the first review that they did. I mean, head coaches really doesn't start off, and he was not looking for it, and they were really looking to get away with that. Yeah, you see what that first goal happens? That's where it happens. It makes it miss. So we'll have to wait and find out if the Stars have that change off to get it back good. With the first intermission coming down to the end, I sent back to Ringo White here in Dallas as we are ready to get off to the second period. We'll be back with you soon. As for the special guest, is Trophy. Now be joining us here for the second period in the middle of the game. We'll see you all later, folks, for the second intermission, and we'll see if anything changes. Welcome back, folks, as we're ready to get started for the second period here in Dallas, as both teams are ready to put the puck drop. And we are back underway here in the American Airlines Center. It is where the start of the clash up. It brings in as St. Louis leads by 1 and Dallas trails by 1 for the start of the second period. All right, the start up is all for you, Five. Let's see how you handle it.
Well, this is what they're really starting it off for. I was really noticing that there's been a lot of great enthusiastic of the playing of this offense. There's a lot of it changing, but there's not really much to say about this. I know, but there won't be anybody that can try to keep on moving it in. It's a lot of work. You just gotta make sure you're really up to the task to make sure that it gets up to the right one. This is spot on, but they gotta do this. Let's hope if they can find an answer back with this one, if they can.
Here's Johnson outside of it. Now there's only 18 remaining in second period. He'll have that one fired up on the round net. And here's the Kiko one to find over to Lindell. Lindell the pass off to Kiko one. Look again to Lindell. And pass to Lundqvist. Lundqvist again to Lundqvist. Kiko one shoots another save by Hofer. It's over to Snugglebug. 17:30 remaining in the second period. He clears that one in zone. Here's the pass. Perkins by Johnson. And this one will chip him up, and this will get a stoppage. This will be a first penalty. Going to be on Thomas Harley. Yeah, bad start. That's not going to start things off for the Dallas Stars. As where it happens with Thomas Harley, he had that one knucking it up, and that goes right toward the board, and he was able to try to get it, but he got caught from underneath his leg. That's going to be a first penalty kill for Dallas Stars. 2:52 was the time on the penalty kill. So the first penalty kill is going to be on the Stars, and as the Blues will take the face-off to start their power play. Power play needs to be done at this point. You have to make sure they really are into it, and make sure you have the right man advantage. There's no stopping to make a denying effort. You don't want this to make anything that's mistaken, and that's going to definitely change it over.
That penalty in the second period, 2 minutes 52 seconds.
Oscar Beck has that one cleared out of here. Now to the other side, Pavel Buchnevich. I'll send over Dvorsky. Dvorsky finds the Sunvest, and that gets over back to Sam Steele as he'll have that one cleared out. Into Wayne Holloway, and here's Buchnevich as he'll able to enter it all. Here's back to Buchnevich, shoots one, save up by Ottinger, and this one battles along the board. Kovalchenko, he rushes out of here. Transfer, shoot, and a goal! Save by Hofer. Chance on the effort, but that one is kicked out by the goaltender, and as this one didn't spot that one out. Under 30 seconds for the Blues power play. Heiskanen wanted to clear that out. And back to Heiskanen. He gets bumped up. Back to Ottinger with the save. And Bach gives to Fosca to clear it out.
Thomas Harley is ready to get back out there.
And that is going to end us for the Stars power penalty kill as the power play ends for St. Louis Blues.
Well, what done afterward? I mean, they couldn't be better after it, but that short-handed goal chance would have made that one to tie it up. That was a long take on the answer.
Harley to find Lindell as Fosca. A send over to Heiskanen. Heiskanen to pass over to Harley. He'll grab it to Fosca. The send off to Lindell. It looks like Heiskanen on a shot. It's blocked by Buchnevich. St. Louis the other way. He'll have that one cleared out. And here's Heiskanen. Heiskanen now over to Lindell. And he just gets right across from the board. Pavel Buchnevich trying to take a whack. He's over to Bork. Bork given away by Torpachenko. Now Torpachenko will have it. Trying to smack from the board, but it doesn't get over in the net. Robertson, the pass over to Lundqvist. Stars will take the regroup. Lundqvist with no cut. Rebound by Buchnevich. And Bork trying to pull the pressure on it. Torpachenko's got it back. Petrovic goes down. Big save by Ottinger. Lundqvist to find the Bork. And as Ottinger will have that one cleared in with only 12:30 remaining. Man, that one wasn't always the better choice. But he was really going to whipping it up. And as you can see, Joel Hofer with a big chance on a shorthanded goal. What a great save. Now that wasn't always to determine what happens to Hofer. And then the only shorthanded goal, he would have had that one right in. That would have been just like that. But nothing stays in on the great track. Ottinger and Hofer trying to keep that one in. And as another puck drop ready, Blues wins it. This one bounces. And here is Mikko Rantanen for the Stars. You'll find it. Gikowan. Gikowan. Pass off to Rantanen. Stars getting it clear. Change over to Gikowan. Outside Hurley. A shoes glove save by Hofer. 11:50 remaining in the second period. He'll have that one covered in and then get over for another puck drop ready. Johnston wins the draw, and now here's Harley. The find to Lundqvist, and he looks to Johnston. Johnston finds Harley. Harley, he shoots another save by Hofer. Gikowan finds it over to Lundqvist. Lundqvist looks over again to Johnston. Bangs to the board from the spark plug. And now here's Snuggle Road for the Blues. Off the glass, no delay in the game for the Blues. Harley to find over to Gikowan. Gikowan loses his balance. Johnston shot. This one's off the wall. And finding over to Snuggle Road.
He was really close afterward, but that was not just the right touch to get this through. That's definitely going to be a slam.
And Luke Shen spades the shot. Saved by Ottinger. 10:07 remaining in the second period. Stars getting a little bit of a clear answer in. And now they'll be able to kick their next puck drop ready. 2-1 still to score. St. Louis wins another draw. And never one. Stopped by Ottinger. Steele takes that out. Matt Duchesne will have it over. The offense finds Steele. Their rebound by Lindell. They find Steele again to Lindell. Now here's Lundqvist. Battle across the boards. Back to Broberg with an open answer. And the Blues on his way. Continues to keep out his Heiskanen. Nobody up in front. And now have it over to Nathan Walker. Walker in front. Stop again. Blocked up by the pressure of Steele. Now he rolls to Hintz. Hintz battling to cross it in his own. Spins it around. Waits for a rooming answer. And pass broken by Dvorsky. Dvorsky trying to answer for three. Poreko. In shot chance block. Robertson now has it down again to Rupins. Hintz, nowhere to go. Hintz shoots one, it's blocked. Rebound by Kyrou. And Dvorak again to find the Broberg. 7:45 left to remain in the second period. Broberg, backhander, saved by Ottinger. 7:35 remaining in the second period. As we have a little puck drop ready.
That happens to only Sundqvist when that makes him hit. He just really had to bang up from the wall, and that really could definitely be a problem. They wouldn't see this. No star would ever do like that as a big knockdown.
Oscar Sundqvist with the first hit. 8:55 over 1:45. And still 2-1 lead, St. Louis. Win for St. Louis again. Shots blocked. And Kopianko will have it again to Bach. Here's Bach. Ascend to Blackwell. Blackwell shoots. He misses up high. And Buck with the rebound with 7 minutes to go. That just almost will make that great goal. Great chance, wouldn't just be the figure. Hofer's going to hold it here with only under 7 minutes remaining in the second period. And now we'll have another puck drop ready. 12-4 face-off wins for the St. Louis Blues. Suter wins the draw. And here's Justin Falk. Finding is over, and Bach the other way to find the Fosca. Fosca slicks the feet right to Blackwell. They did not have the right choice, and No's timing is respired off. And here's Kuchnevich to find the Falk. And here's Harley. He'll now have it over finding the Fosca. Fosca spins across with the move, trying to have that ankle breaking. Blackwell in motion outside Harley. Looks to Lundqvist. Looks to Harley. Get a new line group here. That time they hold that press up. Outside Blackwell. Looks over to Harley. Harley to find the Lundqvist. Gives to Harley. And back to Lundqvist. Lundqvist chance to Harley. Outside to Blackwell. The Just Stars are moving it quickly. Harley in motion. He scores! What a chance made by Harley! Now we are tied.
Well, I have a feeling about this one. And Harley would have that one swinging it in. That scored, and now it is a 2-game.
He scores that one with the cut motion, and now it is a tie game.
With just one thing that you need to do for him, and Thomas Harley, he has to pick up that right motion, and then this is the dagger, and then that goes right in toward the net. After a penalty, it won't be a no for an answer. That's how he got that one, dagging in with the goal to give that good luck.
Stars are now tied. It's a 2-2 game. Dallas and St. Louis. Under 5 minutes remaining in the second period.
Bing bang. There is a lot of things to do for. Thomas Harley has a lot of things to do for, and they won't be able to have that one back if they can get that one through.
Up with the pressure right now, and the St. Louis Blues goes back the other way, and here's Kopianko. Ickelon to have that pass to Johnston. And Johnston moving, saved by Ofer. Johnston outside, Petrovic shoots, and another stop one by Ofer. Over's going to take one easy, and now with only 3:55 remaining in the second. Still more likely the celebration with a 2, and now it is a tie game. Johnston wins the draw, now finds the Kopianko. Pass out to Johnston. Johnston Petrovic finding Kopianko. Shoots. Blocker save up by Ofer. Petrovic to find the Johnston. Looks to Rantanen. Rantanen. He shoots. Another save by Ofer. Ken Fowler. Will have that exiting in the zone in the Stars territory with passing the 3-minute big period. As now as the rebound by the Stars. Dallas the other way. Here's Johnston to have again to hit Kawhi and over to Bork. Bork with the chance motion. Backing the effort. Back to Lindell. And it looks over now to Iskanen. And hit Kawhi. Trying to get a movement now finding Iskanen. And Lindell. Iskanen shoots and a blocker save up by Hofer. And there's the delay penalty. That's going to be a cross-checking.
St. Louis has a 2-minute minor penalty, number 17.
Look how bad you're playing this one. Watch what Ken Fowler did. You see that push? That's a shoving. And that is where it's going to be making a mess of this one. St. Louis Blues have the first penalty killed again. Now the Stars are going to get the power play effort.
Your Dallas Stars!
Stars will start their power play advantage. And they'll be the first to start things off.
Stars have a lot of working to do, and this is the controversial to have that one changing in. You got to make sure you're ready. Otherwise, you won't be able to finish it all that you got. They have to start pressuring this. Otherwise, they're going to take it over with a shorthanded chance.
There's the Thomas Harley as we've seen the first goal after with the no penalty to give. And he sends it around over the wall. Nobody to give here as Torpachenko will clear that out. Here's Bork. Over now to Matt Duchesne. Duchesne pass to Bork. Bork flip over to Ben. And open look, save up by Ofer. 1:11 remaining in the second period. and they'll have that one never first been ready. 92/87 passing effectiveness for the Blues, and they are still trying to work it up again. Here's the win. Over to Lindell, finding Rantanen. Over wide angle, Johnson, no rebound here. 1 minute remaining in the second period as Harley has it back. That would have been a great chance with the goal. He just could have had that. That's better chances, but that wasn't enough. That could definitely be a sore eye to that one. And this one stops again by Hofer, and a lot of big saves afterwards. Well, I gotta tell you this one here. This is a great chance here. And Joel Hofer, in this play, happens to be with Pence. That only does this, and then when this one is off the skater, and then Hofer had got it. He got a piece of that one. He really could keep that one going in with a huge save. Time ticking down in the second period. It is a 2-2 game, and now the win for Hintz. 40 seconds remaining for the Stars power play. Tags it out. Robertson shot is off the net of the stick. And here's Stenberg, a chance over to Suter. 23 seconds left. Sends it out. 15 seconds. Time wasting down. Send it deep to Rantanen. Rantanen. Cut motion. Save and bound. And it goes outside. And in the middle is shot block. And in the end of second period here, Hintz will not have the piece. It is now a tie game. Thomas Harley ties this for 2, and it's now an even game. Next goal takes the lead. Great cut motion. You have to love that effort. And we'll get a big cleanup in play as we will return to Dallas after this break. Hey folks, welcome to the second intermission of the NHL on EA Sports. It's great enough to see that this contest battle only happens to be St. Louis and Dallas. Only one goal happened to be with Thomas Harley, as we are now tied for 2. Here's how they did after the second period. 29/13 total shots on goal for Dallas over St. Louis. Then it was 26/21 for St. Louis on the hits. 12:03 over 154 time on attack for Dallas Stars. Man, it's 93/87 for St. Louis, 15/7 face-off wins for St. Louis Blues, and only happens with 2-minute penalty kills each. No power play goals, and only 2 minutes on a power play minute. Now let's go over to you, Son of Beast, as we have your thoughts in for Dallas Stars. What's your take on that? Well, Dallas Stars happened to be only with this one goal, and I wasn't pretty sure that this would be unclever if that goal would have that count. I mean, first period was done, and now the second period was like, that's the spot. There is where we have the answer. That might be hard enough, but as you could tell, it wasn't like all they did. This is just what they have to do to keep on slowing it down. That's a lot of effort. Let's have it over to you, Roy, for St. Louis Blues.
Well, St. Louis Blues only got done it for once, and for the piece of it, doesn't really mean that it was going to be answering that. The battle of it only made it one harder to do it for, but a lot of block shots happen to be with St. Louis Blues, and for the Stars, they try to make sure that it is eased up. It wasn't like that afterward with Jake Ottinger. He had a wonderful save this night. We'll see how they answer it with the third if there's a leadoff goal to that. Well, we might have to see about that one anyway. I mean, it's anybody's game. Gotta enjoy it. It's all needs to be the end of it. Leadoff scores it all. That ends the second intermission, and now we go back to Dallas for the third period. We'll see you all later, folks, after the game. Let's see what the status comes in for and announcing the 3-star players of the game after this one. See you later. Dallas Stars, it's time for the third period as you're ready for the puck drop. It all comes down for the third period. Both teams tied. Next goal leads. All right, 5. This might be all what you might be leading it for. So let's see how the status happens if this one answers it for Thomas Harley as he's got a goal. He's been tying up so well. I mean, I was really sure that he just got a great look. No chance made. He's got no problem to have it all. I gotta believe this guy. He's been playing so well. The hard one pays off.
I'm pretty sure that this might be the great one to take in for the goal. Well, let's hope this answers back.
Stars continue on offense. Lindell to find a Gieskinen to Rantanen, and he looks over to Lindell. Lindell cut inside of it. A big stop by Hofer. Doesn't know where the puck went, but it was near the goal line. Close call.
Yeah, it is a close call. What a big chance. And a lot of chances happens with Thomas Harley. He has a lot of great range of the taking the goal. And it was open. He does Hofer had a great save. That's only once, and then the second time he does that one again, that makes a save to have that one snatch up, but then this answer happened. Thomas Harley was able to have that one cutting in, dagger Frosks, and then he just makes a rebound, and that's a hard play to do for him. Thomas Harley is giving it all he has instructed to do.
Well, the save back puts it in here as Rupent and Jason Robertson trying to look for the answering in his third period with the goal. And now here's Heiskanen finding to Lindell. Now here's Robertson, right toward the back of it, and it's given by Broberg, and the Stars will take advantage. It's given by Gintz, and he's Heiskanen now to find to Robertson, over the other way. The finding pass to Lindell. Lindell swings it back around, has out the board. Over to Lundell, sliding to Lindell. With the moves, close save by Hofer. And just 17:06 remaining. Stars are on the attack.
No better chance you would have to do for Joel Hofer. It's big save. It's been a blocker. On that zone, it's best player in the game. He really is starting to give that one close calls without Jordan Binnington. That's what he really have to do for him. You can't mess that one up if you're really playing on the goaltender.
Now I go center ice. They now will have it over as 2. Let's see how that one plays along. What do you think how they did? They've really shown so much effort, and they were really been like daggering us up. And sometimes the Dallas Stars are really up to full pressure. This is great to see this one. Only it's the matchup. It doesn't have to be only one, but they can really take it all as he can. I guess since this one is the leadoff, it's going to be a great night for hockey. So let's see how they answer it. We don't know who will it be, but it's going to be any player that's going to have its own night. Let's find out if there is anything. Back to you, Ringo. Here's Short and Kairu to fight back over to Kikowan. And back to Kikowan to pass over. The pass is broken up for the Blues. Kairu swings and misses, and now Kikowan has out to Harley. 15:30 remaining in the third period. In trap motion, stop made by Hofer. Has now to Kikowan. A pass now finds Hintz. Hintz, pass Rantanen. Rantanen looks over to Kikowan. Pass Rantanen again, Harley. Shoots it, saved by Hofer. And a rebound picked up by Kikowan. And now given away by Torpachenko and Sungvest on the attack. 2-on-2 opportunity. Right to the wall. Johnson, the underway toward a rebound for the Stars. Good stick lift here for the Blues. And now here's Torpachenko. Rushes it. Doesn't get off to a great start. Torpachenko and Petrovic will have it out. And new line group will have that change in here in the fourth group. Walker goes out. Now here's Shen. New line change for the Stars, and that shot misses. Really close call. I almost had that one with the lead on.
No better way than that. You wouldn't have to be over it if you're playing on the goaltender for less or anything.
Neighbors looks to Falk. Falk racing down right toward in the Stars territory as Lindell's got a piece. Still no score in the leadoff. Heiskanen finding to Blackwell. Blackwell to finding to Bach. Bach in front. Poked up. And back to Shen. Here's Justin Falk to find a Snuggle Rug. Snuggle Rug. In chance. Saved by Ottinger. Over to Wade again to Heiskanen. And Heiskanen fires that one around the net.
He really had to give that all respect for Jake Ottinger. That would have been just the right tempo to have.
And shoots. Stopped by Hofer. just 11:36 remaining, the third period, and they'll have that one covered in.
Well, that almost made that one in there. I mean, so close. This would almost take the rebound if the Stars would have had that one. This big change-up is a great save. I love his energy about how the Stars are doing it, but Hofer, he's denying it bigger here. It's going to give us a lot of extra timing, better zones, and then when you're doing this for the goaltending, you just have to get over it and done. That's a quicker way to start that off.
So, like I said, nearing the midway mark, as now it's still a 2-2 game. And here's Skaskinen flying to Lindell. Ben. Chance in front, broken by Buchnevich. Buchnevich goes away from it. Swings it, swings it, another save by Ottinger. And now it's Duchesne, finds it over to Iskanen. And Fowler will have it over it again to Suter. And Jamie Benn will have that one dishing out of the zone. Dallas back in St. Louis territory with just 10:30 remaining. Chance to Kopianko. Again a steal. Cut motion back to Heiskanen. Too close to their net. They'll have to get some a lot of regroups here. Find Heiskanen. Looks to Ben. Stars giving some little regroupment here. Ben shoots the pad. Kicked out. Saved up by Ofo. Heiskanen shoots, blocked. Rebound by Duchesne. Behind the net. In trouble. He rangs it off. And back over to the Blues. Fowler to find the Stenberg in the same deep pass zone. And now here's Suter. That gives it away. Korpianko. He rushes in. Heavy traffic to Gates on a chance. Bang shot. Hintz got it back. And over again to Heiskanen. Now, I thought there was a penalty. I thought somebody dagged him afterward. I think he wasn't giving anyone else a chance with the goal. Looks like that Hofer made that one with a huge save. Shoots it. He scores! Sam Steele deflects. It's now a 3-2 lead. Well, Sam Steele only does this for something that he was standing going for. And here's that playoff for Kopianko, and Sam Steele had that one deflected. That's one of his best plays on offense. That Stars defender zone in the first period got some answers in there. When Sam Steele races in, that's deflection. That makes a great effort to have it for Steele in the end zone. Change-up is just the right key to have it all. Now it's a lead. They're going to have to watch what they're playing for. And the winning forward is Sundvest. And it's given away by Korpianko. That clears out by Rupins. Near the net, Hofer will settle it down with only 8:11 remaining in the third period. Now that time, this will be overway with only 8:11 remaining in the third period. Stars and Blues, hard to get through it. Now the winning faceoff is back to Sundvest. And looks over to Harley. Harley to pass to Sundvest to find DeBork. And Bork looks to Harley. Harley has to Sundvest finding the Hintz. Hintz sends off to Robertson to find again Lundqvist. Outside hit shot blocked and rebound by Bill. Here's Harley again. Outside finding the Lundqvist. He'll get it to Bork. Bork chasing play. He stepped again by Ofer. What a big save on this effort. And now Robertson's got it. He's really been up to it. He's almost out of step now. Now he's in trouble. He's got to save a lot of the big afterward for tonight if he wants to get it off to it, Ringo. I know you would. Robertson, kicked out again by Ofer. Bork shoots, saved again. Stop on a diving play. And we'll get a stoppage on the whistle with only 6:21 remaining in the third. And Ofer, he's really not up to something. There's a lot of huge saves, and you really have no patience for yourself. This is really a close call for Hofer, and he's just like keeping it out. That leadoff was not going to be a pickoff in play, but he really would have to get that one face the consequences back afterward. That's where Hofer, he really had to surety afterwards to give that one a close calls. Rantanen finding a Harley, and he has it over to Rantanen. He shoots now, goes off as sort of his offensive player. And it's back to Johnson. He'll have it again to Kikowan. Kikowan to Harley.
Now back to the lone vest. Dallas Stars waits his patient. Johnson will go back over to Harley. And back to Johnson. Johnson to pass to Harley. Harley goes back to it. Another one stopped up by the defender. And Puerto will have it out. Just past final 5 minutes. Presented by Discover. Paul. Now it's over to Broberg. Broberg in trouble. Newly grouped for the Blues. And now it's back to Snugglewald. 4:30 remaining. Pass Dvorsky shot. Big save by Ottinger. And here's Mikko Rantanen. Rantanen. Gives back over to Lundqvist. Into Johnson. Another huge, easy save up by Ofor. Johnson outside his zone. Finding the Lundqvist. And Buchnevich. Gives it to clear that in. Outside range, Holloway shot. Block and he scores! Dvorsky has 3 and his hat comes on ice here in Dallas. Everybody's been hating on this one so far in an effort about Dvorsky. Watch with this. This rebound really have picked it up. And I thought the fans are really loving looking at this play. When Hofer makes this, but then that happens to Dvorsky, he just did not have the over-responding in effort. Watch this rebounding. He just gets away from Ottinger. That was hard to take that one effort. Yeah, speaking of Sander, guys, I know Dvorsky, he has been kicked up by 3 goals in his game, only 16-23 under 5 minutes in the third, and that wasn't just always easy enough. That really had to make that one with a huge stop down to get that one playback effort. This is really what they were expecting to do for. I don't really believe how they were really kicked it in there, but that is just huge inbound to keep that one out. Dvorsky has now got 3, and looks like there might be an overtime with the winning goals or the Stars if they have the answer in the lead. Let's see what happens afterwards. Back to you, Ringo. Thank you, too. And now finding to Lindell, trying to Vince, and shoots out by Ofor. 2:28 to go in the third period, and they'll have that one up, ready to get on. This is what I really always do for him. Having 3 goals, matter of shifts, he just makes it clearly. The answer to this only does it for once. First for this one, second one after the goal, and then this rebound with hard saves in the third only happens with that. That's 3 for his tonight. Dvorsky has now 3 goals in the game, tied up for 3, and now the faceoff is ready. Duchesne wins the draw. That time is finding to Heiskanen. Finding to Lindell. Off to Steele. Steele outside. Hand shot. He wins the penalty. And back to Lindell. And now wins to Heiskanen. And we'll get offside. 2 minutes remaining in the third. I still have one touchdown ready. Man, Jamie Benn will have to see that one coming. And he just really running after it. 1 minute. And this makes a dunk. That was close call for Hofer. He was watching it, and playfully, it wasn't just like that. Shooting speed was this, and it just missed. That one was close call. 44 with 21 shots on goal. For Dallas Stars over the St. Louis Blues. And here's Duchesne. He wins the back-to-back winning face-off, and back to Heiskanen in his zone, all offside. Sam Steele looks to Lundqvist. And again, another save up by Duchesne. Duchesne in trouble. Lindell, 90 seconds remaining. Here's Heiskanen. Heiskanen to find Lindell, and now finds over to Duchesne. Heiskanen out from front. Heiskanen lost that, and it's ball the other way with just final minute in the fourth period. Sends back to Stenberg. Heiskanen rolling it in front, and now it's Lindell. Watching this play, no offside for the Stars. Johnson, right towards zone, fire, and he scores! Heiskanen! What the happens, and that is the answer. 4-3! Miro Heiskanen is a save. I mean, one more thing about Heiskanen, he was waiting alone, and he felt like, give me one. And then that, Lindell only made his pass, and then that happens to Heiskanen. That one is 102 miles per hour. That's the answer that asked that one back. You weren't sure enough that he was going to make it through, just unlike Jimmy Day, and now he's going to wants a piece. He wants to have his effort, and now this is a lead-off to give that one a great look. Now they're up for the lead. It's now 49 who hits his tour, Wade Johnston, and now the Blues will have some time to think about it, and they'll get ready to have some extra attackers. Nico will clear that, and with only 40 seconds remaining in the third period. Tucker again to full. To find Harley, and here's Sikowan. Sikowan will set it out here right around the net. And that one skips it out. Johnson, 20 seconds left. Blues are up the attack. Bringing the goaltender to the bench as we get an extra attacker. Naders kicked it out. And hits. Rebound by Goldberg. Last hope for the Blues. Goes down. And as hits. Clears it. And that is over. Dallas swings as it's a bit of hero like Iskanen upsets the crowd for the Blues, and a total with the shutdown. Jake Ottinger. Well, Jake Ottinger really has to be out there. It's always proud, and the night doesn't keep stopping it from there. They rush to the playoffs or postseason. They have to have that knowledge. And what a way to salute to the fans. They always appreciated that. What a great night. What a big intentional, and as for Dallas, Stars 4-3 is your final score. Big hero from Miro Iskanen. He has that one finish. Go along my broadcast partner along with 2 and 5. And as for the center, the special guest will be back in for next time for a trophy. It won't be afterwards, but as of now, he will be joining me for the post-game show to have it here. I'm Ringo White saying thanks for watching Stars Hockey. We'll see you next time. Good night, everyone. All right, thanks, guys. Time to head on three-star players. Miro Iskanen with the only chance to have that lead, and he makes that one with the goal to have that one off for the third period before the end. Sam Steele with only 1 goal, 1 assist, and 1 hit. Only does this one to have it deflected, and he only has that one making the race back in toward the net. And tonight's first-star player of the game for the Blues is Dobor Dvorsky. 3 goals and 1 hit. That only does this to have a rushing and play offense, and then this rebound only does that to have that pass again by Jake Ottinger. That one was a hard close by that no one has spotted on before. And now by sending it over to my other side of it, I give a biggest effort, and who had the best play at this point, his trophy. Well, thanks, folks. And now as I'm able to present to you, as for big playing of the great Stars hockey, it goes over to Miro Heiskanen, and he has made his greatness to have that one with the winning goal, and only 1 take does that for a time. It really does anything. That's more importantly that he has it all. This is one of his great plays afterwards, and you, Roy, we really are sure enough to have it all with some funding mounding to have that answer in. This open net only does for once, and it's Miro Heiskanen. He's making a great save afterwards. He answers it with full compact pinion to have that one in. It's great enough to play for the lead and have it all. That's where it needs to be doing for. All right, thanks there, Trophy. We really appreciate it with that. And now it's time for the total statistics. It was 45/21 total shots on goal for Dallas Stars and 49/32 for St. Louis Blues. And it was only 1955/252 for Dallas Stars, 90/88% on the passing effectiveness for St. Louis Blues, and 19/14 total shots for the face-off over the Dallas Stars, and perhaps no power play goals, and only happens with 2-minute penalty kill, and it's only with that. So that about wraps things up. Thank you all so much for watching Dallas Stars hockey for the NHL game of the night. I know it wasn't that better of that one with the excitement, but as I mentioned it before, it was hard to have that voice keep up. Nothing does still out. Unless we do a year, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we just got to make sure that anything is just right out of the line. Indeed so. We would love to see anything that gets over the great goal.
And this big excitement happens to be only yesterday. I know we got a little bit of a great reaction afterward for the commentators. I mean, which is great. And hopefully that Ringo White will be joining us for the postseason, which is only going to be a great effort to have it all. Well, folks, that is about to wrap things up. Thank you all very much for watching, and stay tuned for the next game as we go down to Vegas. As the Golden Knights, they will face against the next team as they face against the Colorado Avalanche. That next game is happening at T-Mobile Arena, so be prepared for the next part of the game. Well, you know about the Avs. They already have won that game, but now on the way, why not? Well, folks, that is about wraps things up. So long, everyone, for as a while as the NHL Game of the Night of the Gameplay Dial. This is Son of Beast, along with me, Trophy, and, of course, broadcasting partners, and Roy Cruz. Thanks for watching of the NHL 26. Good night and so long in Dallas, Texas.
If you don't, somebody will.